Happy Monday morning, everyone. Here I am today with my Monday moves. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I don't know if you were aware, but May 1st, Saturday, May 1st, was apparently National Fitness Day. And one of my Pilates friends also informed me that it was National Pilates Day. So I made it an intention to learn something new on that day that I could share with my clients and on my Facebook Lives. And lo and behold, I got this awesome email from the training program I went through. They send out a monthly email newsletter, and it always has great exercises, great information. And there was some moves relating to golf. I thought it was appropriate this time of year, since more of you might be golfing a little bit more now that the weather's better, that the light of day is longer. You know, maybe last year because of COVID you didn't get to golf very much. And these exercises and stretches are great because they are in order to prevent getting golfer's elbow, which is a form of tendonitis. And it's when there's strain on the inside of the elbow, and it affects flexion of the wrist and pronation, or kind of a medial rotation. So there's also tennis elbow, which affects more extension of the wrist, and it's on the outside of the elbow. Either one, this kind of tendonitis is pretty painful. So finding ways to avoid getting it, I thought was very interesting and very valuable, and I hope you guys find it the same way. So we're going to start off with just some stretches. So we're going to start off with our arm out in front of us, and you're going to take this hand and you're just going to pull it down. So you're just stretching through here, right? But you've also got this underside kind of I don't even know what you'd call it. Maybe it's in sort of an eccentric, a shortened form of stretch. And you can play with how your hand is, so you can kind of turn that wrist out a little bit and pull on it. You can turn the wrist in and pull on it, and you'll just feel a stretch through here. And keep pulling on it for a little bit. So it's a great stretch. And then I'm going to show you the next stretch I'm going to show you, which is so awesome. It has to do with fascia that runs up the arm. Remember, the fascia is throughout our whole body, connects our whole body, and I love it. I'm really into it lately. You almost want to call me a fascial geek. So this is, I think, really feels really great is the best thing I can say. Whether it's awesome or not, and I hope you like it as much as I do. So you're just going to take something that you can place your hand on. Now, if you're on the floor, you just want to be at a good angle so you're not scrunched up like this, right? So it probably could be the floor. And you're just going to start stretching. So you're kind of leaning your weight onto that wrist so that you feel a stretch through the fingers, through the forearm, through the wrist, and turn it in different ways, right? To add to this stretch, it's all an extension of the wrist at this point. So it's not, you're not going to turn your wrist under like that and do those stretches. It's more this extending the wrist and feeling the stretches, and just kind of play with different positions of doing that. And then remember how when I'm showing you some of these fascial movement exercises, we add bounce. So if you think about kind of this idea of pushing off of your hands, almost like you're jumping, right? Moving through all of those areas, and the fingers and the hand, and just stretching. I'm showing you a whole bunch because it feels so good, right? So what I always notice after I do those sort of fascial type movement stretches is just blood flow, which that can't be bad, right? Okay, now I'm going to show you some of these strengthening exercises. Okay, so we're going to start off with a short lever of the arm, and we're going to have the elbow bent by your side, just to see how it feels before you go into a longer lever. We're going to take this hand, turn the palm facing up, and we're going to let the wrist go into that extension again. So feeling a stretch through this inside part of the arm. And then we're gonna do the work by just pulling this 2 pound, this is just a 2 pound toning ball, up to neutral position or straight wrist. And then I'm gonna control letting it go down. I'm not gonna let the weight just take it. I'm gonna control it. And then I'm gonna pull back up just to that neutral or straight wrist. And I'm gonna let the weight of the toning ball, I'm gonna control it through my arm. I'm not just gonna let it drop. Now, if you didn't have toning balls or weights of any kind, if you took a water bottle, soda can, you could do this too with that. I don't know how much they weigh, but maybe 1 to 2 pounds. And then, so that was a few of those, just from extension to neutral. Okay, and then we're gonna take and turn the hand so it's straight, right? And my palm is facing towards my knee. And we're gonna do what, I don't exactly know what this move is called in anatomical correct form. I'm gonna call it lateral flexion of the wrist joint, right? So we're just letting it bend, but I'm controlling it and I'm trying to keep a good alignment with my wrist as I do this, right? So I'm not gonna, right, when I go this direction, it's much harder. My hand wants to do something weird. So I'm just gonna go to a place where I'm noticing I'm staying in a good alignment. Okay, so I did a few of those. The next move is to do this kind of medial type rotation, and basically it's through my elbow and my wrist. Pronation it's called sometimes, well, all the time. Anyway, we're gonna do these a few times, right? So we're in the short lever, we've done it. If that felt good or okay to you, then you can go ahead and reach the arm out and do the same moves, right? So now my arm is straight, so it's a lot more work. I'm gonna let the extension of the wrist pull the weight down, and then I'm going to bring it up just to that neutral. And I don't know, I guess I'll just do about 4, because I can definitely feel this in my arm. Not only my forearm area, but I can feel it now because I'm holding my arm up, so I can feel it in my deeper shoulder muscles holding my arm up. And with that weight, I'm going to do this tricky lateral flexion type move with my wrist. I find it tricky because, again, remember, I have to pay attention to my alignment. It all feels really good though, like I'm strengthening muscles. Maybe if you're a golfer, you can kind of relate these moves to your golf swing, I hope. Okay, and then we'll do this rotation where I'm going to add a little bit more into my shoulder joint, okay? So I'm going to let my shoulder rotate as well as the rest of my arm, including my wrist. And I'm going to do one more, because then we've got one more move, and this is going to add a big movement of like a rotation and swing. So I'm going to start with my palm facing forward, and then I'm going to rotate and turn my palm up. Then I'm going to rotate, turn my palm actually into that rotation, that pronation, and then I'm going to rotate and turn it the other way. I'm going to actually protract my shoulder, and then I'll pull my shoulder blade back into place, almost retraction, right? So protraction, retraction, rotation, and I'm rotating at my waist. So that's part of the golf swing too, right? So I'm using my core. But at this point, I'm just really feeling my arm, the whole arm. And open. Then I'm gonna rest my arm down. Now I'll make sure and I'll do the other side. I haven't done it yet. I want you to make sure you do both sides as well. Find a comfortable seated position when you do that. And I really hope that you found these moves beneficial, and that you are, if anything, you're just, you don't have to do it with weights, so you could do it without weights, and you're taking some breaks in your day to release tension and set new intentions. And I have an intention this year to learn how to play golf. So I really am gonna put that in my mind to get some golf lessons, and I can use these exercises to strengthen my forearm. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next week.